We have Crystal Dwyer Hansen here, the co-author of the book Ask. So I had a question. When did you realize how important asking is, whether it's for help, for information, for whatever it is?
I think I began to understand it at the lowest point in my life, Ethan, which is what happens to people. Okay. So I was one of those kids who, high school was really easy for me. I graduated myself at age 16, married my boyfriend who was 5 years older, not a good life plan, as it turns out. So 2.5 years later, I'm in a city by myself, no family, no friends, baby on my hip, and honestly, no idea how I was going to support myself. So I applied for food stamps. Someone said, apply for food stamps. Okay, I get the food stamps. I'm standing in the grocery line and ready to turn over those food stamps for my groceries and diapers. And all of a sudden, I got this epiphany. It just was the sinking feeling. And this question, just like it was God's voice or my grandpa's voice, or like, are you doing the best you can? Or are you taking the easy way out? And instantly, bam, I knew the answer. I knew I wasn't doing the best I could. And I didn't even know what that was, you guys, but I knew I wasn't doing it. So I had such a quick shift that as I handed those food stamps over to her, I think I looked kind of fierce. I was like, this will not be my future. And I went home and I realized, you know what? I don't have any answers, but I have questions. That's all I had, questions. I started asking, who would hire me tomorrow? How can I start earning money tomorrow? The minute I start asking, I remembered, oh, dang, I heard on the radio, you can do temporary services. You can call this 1-800-Kelly girls, And so I call them. I'm like, I want to apply. How do I do it? They fill out your qualifications and they start sending me jobs. I can say yes or no. Suddenly I'm filling in an attorney's office. I'm setting up booths at malls. I'm working at conventions, doing sales. And I started learning so much about myself. And I realized, I'm pretty good at sales. And I also realized that I love the idea of entrepreneurship. I was like, these people just get an idea, start a business, and go for it. And I loved that. So decided to put myself through real estate school and a year and a half. Oh, in the meantime, someone said, you should go model. And I was like, I have nothing to lose. I'll go in and ask. So I asked them if they'll sign me. I'd go to the top agency in town. And they're like, have you done this before? I'm like, oh, I know what I'm doing. They have me walk down the runway. I kind of fake my way down the runway and they have me read some lines, some acting lines. I do my best. And they signed me. So I ended up getting a national commercial. So for
Nice.
Close Up Toothpaste and some others. Crazy. A year and a half after that moment, I was turning over my food stamps. I'm now a licensed realtor with the top builder in our town. I became the #1 salesperson, and I'm getting these residual checks from my commercials, my television commercials. I mean, it was such a complete paradigm shift that I would often think back, oh my gosh, what if I hadn't asked that tough question, or God hadn't asked that tough question? Are you doing the best you can? Are you taking the easy way out? And you know what? Sometimes we need to ask those tough questions of ourselves, Eric and Lila.
Really do.
We really do. And answer them honestly. It would have been so easy for me to just, play the victim, slide downward into my, I was young. I was super young. No one was helping me. It's easy to become a victim.
So let me reiterate this. You are 18 to 20 years old. Find yourself alone, a single mother. You're trying to take care of your child. And I think far too many people, many of our listeners, have found themselves in some type of situation like that. You go in and you get your government handout, which we're always talking down about. And I've never told this story on the air, but after I lost my third job in 2 years, I went to the unemployment office and I got all this paperwork, and I'm sitting there at my desk feeling so disgusted with myself
Yeah.
that I have been brought to this. And this idea went through my head. I thought it'd be easier to just get a job than fill out all this stupid government paperwork. And I realized it doesn't matter if we starve, it doesn't matter what's going on. I'm going to find a way. It's just my wife and I. I said, I'm going to find a way to buy us food. I am going to find a way to make the mortgage payment. And I threw the paperwork away, never took it back in. And next thing you know, we're figuring out how to creatively buy houses. And just over 2 years later, we're financially free.
It's
So
crazy.
you have got to hit that point when you bottom out so you can bounce up and be spectacular. And if you are in that position right now, hey, look up. The only way you can go is where you're looking. And if you're at the bottom, the only way is up. So yeah, listen to what Crystal's saying. Ask for help, but ask to be taught how to fish. Don't ask for a fish.